Thanks for staying with us on this Wednesday evening. The Hoffman House in Rockford dispels rumors circulating on social media recently about closing their dining room doors.
23 News reporter Jake Pearson speaks with restaurant leaders Wednesday to uncover what's really happening at the State Line Staples Supper Club.
Ending signal new beginnings. And after more than 60 years of fine dining, the Hoffman House is ready to reinvent its reputation with a few changes. Michael Prosser owns the restaurant. He says the goal of these changes is to transform their original dining experience into something a little more casual. Prosser says they're slashing the salad bar, but popular options like the prime rib and Friday night fish fry are here to stay. The team at Hoffman House hopes these changes attract both new and existing visitors.
We're just excited because, again, we're expanding our casual side of things, and we think that pushing that into the dining room side of it, making it all one kind of throwaway with casual and the fine dining combination is the best front for us moving forward. So we're excited about that change.
Prosser clarifies that these changes don't mean the restaurant is closing. The Hoffman House will still be available for dining as these changes get underway.
Thanks for clearing that up, Jake. And Prosser tells us these changes will go into effect the beginning of next month.